Peekaboo everyone, welcome back to Cozy Bus. Are you ready for new stories?
Am I the asshole for ordering delivery food when I only live a few blocks away from the restaurant? There's a local burger joint that me and my family love, and it's about 10 blocks away from our house. I'm a full-time student and a stay-at-home mother to a toddler while my husband works full-time. I had a big exam and a couple of lab practicals due today and was too tired to cook. So I decided to order from the joint. It was already really dark and really cold, and mind you, we didn't have a car, so I ordered delivery. Mind you, there was an additional fee, and I paid online and left a $20 tip. 30 minutes later, I went to pick up my food, and when I got to the door, the delivery person was very rude to me. Am I the asshole for ordering delivery food when I only live a few blocks away from the restaurant? The delivery person was very rude and told me that next time I should get off my ass and pick up my own damn food. She said she doesn't get paid enough to deliver food less than a mile, and I grabbed my food and didn't say a word. I headed back towards the elevator and heard a pound on the locked door. I turned around to see that she'd hit the door with some snow and was flipping me off. I went upstairs kind of frazzled and ended up calling the restaurant to let them know what happened and to please reimburse me for my tip. The manager was horrified and apologized and ended up returning my tip. He also offered me a coupon for my next visit, but am I the asshole for ordering?
My friend Dan recently found out that he might be a father. I say might because the girl he's been having an on and off relationship with, Kara, is pregnant and he's not sure if he's the dad. She offered to get a paternity test once the baby is born and doesn't expect any kind of support until they find out if the baby is his. He's on board with that and appreciates that she's not pushing him into fatherhood if the baby isn't his. The issue is that when he was talking to me about it, he also said that he wants to get a maternity test done to make sure the baby is hers. Kara is visibly pregnant. We know she's pregnant because she did a maternity photo shoot and posted it on social media, so it's obvious she's not faking being pregnant. We've both seen her in person too, and she's most definitely pregnant. However, Dan believes the baby might not be hers. I tried to explain to him that that's not how biology works, and unless she's got an embryo implanted in her, then she's definitely the mother. She's a waitress and works for minimum wage plus tips, so I doubt that she has the money to afford an embryo implantation. Plus, it's ridiculous to think that she'd do all of this just to baby trap a guy who is unemployed and living at his parents at 32. He's genuinely convinced that the baby might not be biologically hers, despite not only me, his mom, and our other friends explaining that's not how babies and pregnancy works. He's still insisting on a maternity test and told me that I was being ridiculous and that I'm the one who doesn't understand biology, despite me studying to be an autopsy pathologist, which has required literally years of biology classes. I got fed up and called him a senseless idiot and told him to call me when he's got his head screwed back on straight. Ever since then, he's been spamming my phone and has gotten a couple of friends to spam me as well, telling me I'm being insensitive and he's just stressed out about possibly being a dad. So, am I the asshole for calling my friend an idiot?
Story time about how my boyfriend and best friend were sneaking around behind my back. So a little background information, I was 15 and in 10th grade. So my mom and dad were split up and I was pretty much allowed to do whatever I wanted because of that. So I was dating this boy named Jacob. Well, my best friend Alice literally hated him. Like low-key, every once in a while, she would try to break him and I up. And when I would call her out on it, she would just deny it. Anyway, so the one day I didn't go to school because I was super sick. So the whole day I was trying to text Jacob and Allison, but nobody was answering me. Which was extremely weird because no matter what, Allison would always text me back. So after I knew the school ended, I went to Allison's house. Nobody was answering the door, so I used the spare key. I walk in and all I hear is a very loud banging coming from her bedroom. So I walk in, I see my boyfriend and her together, and then he starts saying that she drugged him. So I went on his phone, I see a bunch of old text messages between him and her, and them exchanging pictures. And then sis wants to start giving me an attitude, so I punched her in the face, and then I left and I don't talk to either of them.
Am I the asshole for yelling at my baby? I, 27 female, am married to a 42-year-old male, married for 6 years and been a mom for 6. I have children, including a special needs child, ages 6, 5, and 9. I work full-time from home and he works on and off. I'm the primary provider of care for the kids and sole provider for the infant. He's never gotten up once in the night and it's always been my responsibility. My latest baby's sweet but a nightmare to care for. Doesn't nap, doesn't sleep, and needs to be held 70% of her waking hours. The doctor just shrugged and said, sucks to be you in short. I also suffer from chronic migraines and have since childhood. Am I the asshole for yelling at my baby? I had such a severe chronic migraine that I took my first nap in 6 years. When I finally kicked it, my baby had one of her tri-weekly sleep only for periods of 1 hour all nights. Also, since birth, my periods have been every 14 to 20 days and so debilitating I can barely stand, and I happen to be on it now. So when she woke up after a period of 60 minutes of sleep this morning, I was in tears. She was screaming and I knew I was in for another migraine, so I snapped and yelled, shut up, why are you crying? I regretted it instantly and he ran into the room and started to cuss me out. He said it's just watching a baby. How hard could it be?
I was adopted at 3 months old. I had a dysfunctional family growing up, but I was cared for and loved. Both my adoptive parents passed away in separate car accidents, my dad when I was 17 and my mom 3 years ago when I was 24. I had a semi-open adoption, but my parents requested my adoptive parents to stop sending them photos and updates about me when I was less than a year old. I had a vague idea of who my parents were. I grew up knowing their names and I had several photos of them. I did a DNA test and was matched with 3 full siblings, which shocked me. I was always told my parents were young, barely knew each other, and wanted to further their education. About 3 months ago, I decided to Google their names and found them on social media. It turns out they're married to each other now with 7 more children they had together. I stalked them on Facebook for a bit and it seems like they have a relatively happy life. I was shocked to find out that I have 7 full siblings and that my sister, who is closest in age to me, is actually only 11 months younger. I was even more shocked to find out that I have an older, full brother who was not adopted out, who is only a year and a few months older than me. I ended up reaching out to my birth mother via Facebook, telling her that I would love to get to know her and that I've had a great life and I have no expectations. She took a month to respond, and when she did, she was surprised that I reached out and to please not contact any of my siblings as they weren't aware of my existence. I didn't respond for a few days, but I ended up just asking her why she chose to give me up and why she never told anyone about me. She responded and said that I was a NICU baby. She and my birth father were 17 when I was born and they weren't prepared to raise a disabled child. She said at the time they were under the impression that I would never live independently and they weren't in a place to have a special needs child. I was again shocked. I definitely always was in the lower priced house for growth until puberty, but according to my grandmother, by the time I was 8 months old, I was hitting all the markers for regular mental development. I have an MS in mathematics from a tier 1 university. I was an athlete in high school and I never had any issues in school beyond being really horrible in art class. I'm married with a child. I'm a fully functioning adult with a great career and a family of my own, and it hurts to know that I was given up because of the slight chance that I wouldn't turn out to be perfect. Part of me feels like I miss out on life with siblings. I was raised as an only child, and that I could still have a chance to know them and love them, and that my daughter would have a chance to have cousins. My youngest siblings aren't even in elementary school yet, and I could have a normal sibling bond with them, or at least be part of their lives from a young age, and I wish that I had that chance. I'm not angry at my birth parents for giving me away. I don't hate them. I'm hurt, but I'm not angry. I am angry that they've requested I not reach out to my adult siblings, and I'm considering doing it anyway. Should I ignore my birth parents' wishes and reach out to them anyway?
Please share your opinion about the stories you like. Check the description to see the timestamps of the stories. Thanks for watching. See ya.